Clone Force 99, aka the Bad Batch, was a select group of 4 mutated clone troopers used in Special Forces missions, and were amongst the most proficient in their class. But what are their mutations, how did they occur, and what are the problems that this presents? Now, before we begin, I do just want to put in a little disclaimer. I'm using the fraction of law that we have regarding how the cloning process works, combined with a very questionable GCSE knowledge of biology, and quite a bit of research done online. However, if there are any issues, do just let me know in the comments below. Also, I do want to apologise if I sound a bit off in this video. I've been losing my voice over the last few days, so apologies for that. But anyways, let's continue. So, the squad consisted of Crosshair, who possessed insanely good eyesight and a steady hand, making him an expert sharpshooter, Tech, whom had greatly increased intelligence, the leader, Hunter, who possessed strong electromagnetic sensibilities, making him an expert tracker, and finally Wrecker, who had frankly inhuman strength. I mean, seriously, it makes almost no sense to me how strong this character is. We also need to point out that the clones are visually different from other Jango Fett clones. Different shaped faces, coloured hair, and even things like height. And again, these are all different kinds of mutations. So how did this happen? Well, the mutations were not planned, it just happens. The ones experienced by the Bad Batch just so happened to be beneficial to their roles. Now, mutations happen naturally in all species, humans included. For example, blonde or ginger hair or different coloured eyes. These are the most common ones that, due to societal factors, became incredibly common. However, they are still mutations, or were originally. Now, what other mutations clones may experience is unknown, but by the sound of it, the Bad Batch are the exception, not the standard, meaning that clones with mutations are likely terminated before development. Now, no one can deny that the Bad Batch is brilliant, far superior to other clones, so this does beckon the question, why don't they make more of them? I mean, an army of the super strong, pilots with amazing eyesight, engineers with greater intelligence, and scouts with electromagnetic sensitivities. That sounds pretty great, right? And very, very powerful. This, however, would in reality be pretty terrible. To put it simply, DNA tells the body how it's going to form, and a mutation changes this. This can be in a beneficial way, for example what we see with the Bad Batch, but who knows what else is changed. These are the first generation of clones, and even the Kaminoans will be unsure of everything about them. Many clones, for example, in the real world have shortened lifespans and are far more susceptible to cancerous growths. And again, I don't know the extent of which this is relevant in the Star Wars universe, but you gotta admit it's a big risk. So the clones in the Bad Batch may actually have incredibly shortened lives and may be susceptible to a lot of weaknesses and diseases that we just don't know about yet. Also, we need to remember that the Kaminoans' entire program was based around the Jango Fett specimen, and attempting to change that based on these new variants is risky, because their mutation will make them different. Wrecker, for example, appears to be more aggressive and less susceptible to conditioning than regular clones will have been. Tech's intelligence could be problematic, a clone who is too smart may resist serving, and Crosshair in general appears to be quite standoffish in nature, which is again a problem. It appears that these mutations of clones are far more resilient to the Kamino's conditioning processes that they use on standard clones to make them subservient. And in the case of these 4 clones, that's not a big deal. They're loose cannons. If they do disobey orders, then they can be hunted down and killed. However, say if you made an army of 100,000 clones that maintained this standoffish nature, they could rise up, form resistance groups, and that could cause huge amounts of problems not only for the Kaminoans, but for their customers. Ultimately, I don't think the Kaminoans would ever attempt to clone the Bad Batch, as there's just far too many risks and unknown factors involved in doing so, and at the end of the day, their business, they wanted to make money. Although scientific curiosity may have interested them, an army of these one-off mutations was not only unlikely to be successful, but also potentially very problematic. But what do you guys think of the Bad Batch's mutations? Do you think they could be cloned, and should they be? let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, I do hope that you enjoyed. If so, please remember to like, share and sub, as it's really appreciated. It helps the channel grow and we're so close to 100k subscribers now. Also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter at @TheLawGuy and tick the bell for regular updates. But most importantly, thank you for watching. I do hope that you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.